Oh, it's just Jord.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Little Nightmares theory, and today I am so excited to bring you this video, as this video will be touching on a topic which I believe no one has recently dived into in such great detail, and with so many possibilities. Saying this, Little Nightmares did confirm ages ago that they never planned on making a DLC. It was only by popular demand they did so. But with Little Nightmares having lore, even if the granny was added as a quick character into the DLC, they would need to somehow slot her into the lore. And with that being said, what I've done for you guys is list all the ways that they could have slotted her into the main game, and Little Nightmares in general. So let's jump into the theory, or fear is, why was the granny abandoned? Now remember, this will contain some spoilers from the DLCs and the main games, so spoiler alert. Anyway, let's jump into this theory. So let's begin with what was the Depths. The Depths to me was definitely a place where it used to look a lot different from how it looks now. We see hints of this throughout the Depths in the chapter, with the decor and how there used to be a floor above the now flooded grounds. If you look, there seems to be a lot of homey things: sofas, chairs, tables, lamps, even pictures on the walls. Most of which we see in the base game, but there is some odd decor that intrigues me. We see what looks like a washing machine with a black bag in it. We see a bed, a toilet, and a toilet roll, a doll. All these things may point to what the granny may have been doing down there. Could the granny be like the maid of the moor, who washes clothes, sheets, etc. for the governess or workers? Maybe she helped the lady watch the children, and if so, why was she abandoned down there? But now let's talk about what is the granny. I find it most odd of all how the granny can stay underwater for a very long period of time. I thought that she may have been some aquatic creature that can breathe underwater that was picked up on the travels of the moor. I had a look at her character model again, and I thought I saw what could be webbed underarms and scaly skin, but looking further, it just looks like she has some granny sag going on, and apparently for someone who spends a lot of time underwater, she needs a bath for all the dirt that's on her skin. It's literally that, or she's going mouldy. But anyway, where she's underwater, she creates air bubbles, so she surely must breathe to be able to create these. And we notice how she likes to sit on seats, etc. So we know that she can come out of the water if she wants, and her feeding station is out of water. Without the runaway kid throwing her food, she would have to get out and get it herself, unless someone is feeding her. But on the basis no one is, hence the shoot for the fish, she doesn't seem to need water to breathe. But she's also confusing in the sense that she eats underwater from what we can see, and how she manages this I don't know. Maybe she can breathe both underwater and above water. Now we know some aquatic creatures can. So let's talk a little bit why the name Granny. Now it may not seem important at first, but if you think about it, the name Granny holds a bit of weight. I mean, think about the word Granny. In the definition terms, it means the mother of a person's father or mother. So who is she the granny to? Let that sink in. Someone on the moor could be the child of the granny. Who could it be? There are so many answers to this. It could be the lady, it could even be the twin chefs. It could even be the hanging man. If you think about it, is that why the end of the residence mirror shows the lady as the granny? Is this because the lady banished her and left her in the depths to rot for all eternity? And if so, why? Another person or people who I think she could possibly be related to is the chefs. Now, why do I say the chefs? Mainly because of their appearance and how they behave with such aggression. Like the chefs will attack if anything moves. This can also be said for the granny when anything falls into the water, and how she has a thing for meat. But we'll continue further in the video, but I will reference this again in the future, so let's get on to the next topic. Was the granny a governess? I think a lot of us ask ourselves this question. I couldn't really find much evidence in game, but there's always a possibility she could have. She seems to have been on the moor under these abandoned waters for a very long time, so there's also a chance that she could have been a previous governess that was overthrown by the lady and left in the depths. Maybe that's why in her description it says that she was left to decay and rage. Is this why she is angry? Is this why she was left down there? After all, we know the moor likes to hide its biggest secrets in the coldest, darkest places of the moor. And so let's get on to the next topic. Is the granny the lady on the TV? Specifically the shadow. In the main story game, we come across the library and Roger's lovely set of books. We enter a room to which there's a TV, and when you turn it on, some really creepy stuff happens. But the one weird thing you see on the TV is this image. It shows a weird shadow of someone with a long nose and sharp fingers, and what looks like a longish looking face. The creepiness of this image is enhanced by the fact that the stranger's figure is entering what looks to be a child's bedroom on the moor. Why I say this is the moor is the resemblance of similar items. Even on the top shelf there seems to be a lady statue like the ones we break when Six throws them. Now I have a theory that if the shadow figure in that image on the TV is the granny, it could explain two things. One, why she was abandoned, and two, the change in the moor. Why I say it could explain her being abandoned or banished, if you will, is for the simple reason that the image looks like it's been taken around a time where the moor was a pleasant place to live and something of a home for the children staying in there. Now, if the image sequence shows us anything, it's that whoever was going into that room was going in there with the intent to harm. And as a result of the granny bringing this harm, what she did to the children was why she was abandoned. Like I said a little while ago, this could show us a time where the moor was much different and somewhat a pleasant place to live. And we can see in the room where the child is sleeping, it's filled with dolls on the shelves and a plant pot and things that show some time and effort, which also can resemble a bit of care that goes into the room as well. This room is far different from what we see on the moor in game. I tried to simulate the image on the TV by posing the granny in a similar way via Blender, and this is what I got. So our next topic for this is the granny the lady in the TV advert? So while we explored the idea of the theory that the granny could be the shadow image from the TV, we can also theorise about the possibility that the granny could have also been the actual lady in the TV advert, maybe back in her early days. I say this because of a few things. The main one I would suggest is that each of the ladies that are shown in the image have a similar build, tall and slim, and also with long hair. And I'd also like to mention that maybe this is one of the reasons she was used at all. I also wanted to point out the hint of fish on the side of the table. It could also mean that she was a chef at maybe one point. So to the $1 million question, so why was she abandoned? After many nights of trying to figure this one out and going through all the bits and data of the game, I think the best theory that I myself can come up with the evidence that I've gone through in game, I have come up with the idea that she may have been eating the children. And why I say this is because looking at her behaviour, have you ever noticed that there's evidence that she can get out of water, yet stalks you like prey under the water, and she only pulls down meat into the murky waters of the depths. I tested this by throwing other things into the water, a shoe, a can, and it gets no interaction from her. But if you chuck yourself, the fish, or even the wrapped up mystery looking objects into the water, she pulls you down. So to me, whatever is in those bags are definitely flesh or meat. Not to mention, there is the random bag of children dangling into the water. Also, the closest thing which we can get to the granny looking character in the main game is the shadow figure on the TV, which is entering the child's bedroom looking rather scary, with a hand lifting up and sharp fingers sprawled out like some kind of monster pose. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I think. We've explored some really interesting ideas, I believe, today, so take any of those as an idea and run with the theory. And let me know what you think in the comments below, or if you've got any other theories, let me know. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in the next theory video. Thank you for watching, and remember, if you like the video, please hit like, and if you want to subscribe to the channel to support the channel, hit that subscribe button with notifications on. But guys, what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts and theories on the granny and how they could have slotted her into the lore. To me, she was definitely one of the creepiest characters on the moor, but thank you for watching anyway. I will see you guys and gals later in my next theory video, and till then, hope you all are well, and see you soon. Bye!